take your desire off your pedestal. When it comes to manifesting our desires, oftentimes the smaller, medium-sized desire will be quite easy to come about. Why? Very simple. Because those desires have no resistance or very little resistance. Oftentimes, why our stronger desires will take a bit more time, it's not because we cannot get them right now. Obviously, some desires are very big too, so it will take a series of events to bring them about. That being said, sometimes we are slowing our desires and slowing our manifestations because there's so much resistance behind them. Therefore, we prevent them or we slow them down from coming because we put them on a pedestal of our own making. We have to understand that our desire is on our pedestal, but the same desire might be something that will come very easily to someone else, because maybe this person has less resistance, and for this person it is completely normal. It's a belief that this person holds that she or he can have this very easily. So generally speaking, when it comes to our strong desires, we have put them on a pedestal. And as I said, our desires, our strong desires, will lead to lacking, frustrations, and all that good stuff, quote unquote. So we let go of the desire. And one way to let go of the desire that I have not mentioned in my previous videos I made on this subject is understanding the glamour of our desire. What I mean by that? This is a concept by David Hawkins, an amazing concept. The two worst things in life is, number one, not getting what you want. The second thing is getting what you want. I remember this quote. I don't remember exactly who said this, who wrote this, but I remember seeing this at the end of the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. Great movie, by the way. And it stuck in my mind because I've been raised for a greater part of my life as a Buddhist. I don't call myself a Buddhist because I don't like labels, but I'm very close to the teachings of the Buddha. And it is true, because if life is the suffering and the cause of suffering is desire, as the Buddha said 2500 years ago, then it makes sense that whether we get our desire or we don't get our desire, it will lead to suffering. Because we see desire from only the fulfillment of it or the unfulfillment of it. And most of the time we see the pain from not getting what we want. But if right now you were to look at your life, how many desires have you had fulfilled? Does it necessarily make you more happy? Does it necessarily bring you joy? Yes, obviously at the beginning, once you reach that, but like anything else, it becomes normal. But look at all those people who have all those desires, all their desires they had wanted for their whole lives fulfilled. The celebrities, the multimillionaires, the billionaires, etc. Or the kids who have been born in a wealthy family, who have been given everything to them. A lot of them are suicidal, depressed, discontent. And I know it is something that we say often, like it's almost becoming a cliche. And not to say that people who are successful, very rich, and accumulating a lot of material gains who are necessarily sad. But the thing is that the desires being fulfilled is not something that will necessarily bring you happiness. It's the contentment of it that will bring you happiness. So whether you're poor, rich, and anything in between, you can be contented. But the glamour of the desire is to understand that we put so much, how should I put it? We put so much intensity on our desires and think that this is the end all be all, that we forget sometimes that to understand that we already had many desires fulfilled in our lives, and now they are normal. They're completely normal. It doesn't mean we're not necessarily happy about having them, but they're normal. They don't necessarily change our lives and make it more spiritual, so to speak. Then again, it doesn't mean that we should not follow our desires, that we should not have desires. Desires is not a problem. It's the glamour of the desire that is the problem. Because what happens when you have all your wish fulfilled, all your desires fulfilled, if you're not able to understand that you have to have contentment, and to have contentment you have to understand that the pedestal you have put your desires upon is not real. What happens when you have been craving for someone for a long time? What happens when you get them? Yes, obviously you have a honeymoon period, it's great, but then after it becomes something else in your life. What you were wishing for when you were single and dreaming about made you feel good, made you feel negative depending on how you were going about it. Sometimes you feel excited thinking about the prospect of being with someone. Something you felt frustration because the anticipation led to strong expectation and strong craving, and therefore strong frustration. So when you have it, you have a mixture of both joy, ecstasy, adrenaline. But then what happens after a while? It becomes normal. And that's what I'm talking about, the glamour. The glamour can last for some time, if you even have it at all. I was watching this movie, Soul, yesterday for the second time. Very good movie by Disney and Pixar. Spoilers alert for those of you who have not watched the movie. Please skip a few minutes. In the movie, the protagonist, the main character, is dreaming and has dreamt of being a famous, successful jazzman. And when he finally got his dream, he said to his friend in the band, "Is that all?" I always thought that something like this, something I had been waiting all my life for, would be different. But that's just called life. Desire will not bring you fulfillment if you put them on a pedestal. Why? Because you expect so much from it. You keep living your life expecting to have this desire change your life. And some desires can change your life, but even after a while it will become normal and something natural. And it could be good, it could be bad. But what I'm trying to say right now, the point I'm trying to make is, do not put it so much on a pedestal. It's more about having a preference than having an expectation. And as I said in a lot of my videos, you want to let go of the desire. And when you let go of the desire, is the need for it. And when you don't have the need for it, you only can see it as something you prefer, something you would love to have. And when I'm talking about this, I'm talking more so in the energetic way, emotional way. You don't necessarily think. You think you already have it, but when you think you already have it, you let go of the desire. And when you let go of the desire, you let go of the need for it. The need for it, the want for it, will lead to more lack, and therefore frustration and resistance. By picturing yourself lovingly, as David Hawkins would say, having this desire, the emotion, the energy of desire will dissipate because you already have it. You feel natural about having it. It's normal to you. You don't need to be over the moon. It's just normal. It's something you picture, yes, lovingly, but that's about it. You don't need to be over the moon, ecstatic, jumping across your bed. It's all good. Just feel natural about it, because now it's like, okay, that's cool, I have it, it's a good thing. But putting off your desire from the pedestal, removing it from the pedestal you have fabricated, it becomes easier to let go of the desire. It becomes easier to visualize it because it's just something that becomes more fun. Imagine if you were happy right now. That's what Abraham Hicks talks about, being unconditionally happy. When you're unconditionally happy, you don't need anything to be happy, because as I said, your happiness is unconditional. It's not predicated on having this condition or not having this condition, etc., because you are unconditionally happy no matter what. And I would change the word happy with peace. So therefore, you allow things to happen in your life because you know you don't have a need for anything emotionally. Inside, you have this balance, this wisdom, this equanimity to be at peace with everything. And your vision becomes something on the back end, something for those of you who are familiar with Abraham Hicks, she talks about the vortex, all your desires in the vortex. And for those of you who have read or listened to any of the teachings or books by Michael A. Singer, The Untethered Soul, The Surrender Experiment, he comes from more of a meditational yogi background, and he didn't have a preference for anything. Preference will spoil our mood most of the time. He would just listen to the voice and follow this voice and let go of anything, let go of anything that is negative and just let it happen. Now, to be in this state of mind and allow things to happen takes a tremendous allowing, a tremendous belief and trust in life, in yourself, and the universe. And that's what I'm inviting you guys to do. Don't put anything on a pedestal, because when you put on a pedestal, what will happen is that it doesn't mean that you won't get what you are putting on a pedestal. But if you get it, even if you get it, you have put it on a pedestal so much that it will not bring you the joy it could bring you if you had taken it off the pedestal. So my reasons for telling you guys to try and taking it off the pedestal are twofold. The first reason is obviously it will make it easier for you and more fun to visualize yourself as already having it, because there will be less fear, less doubt, less frustration, because you have taken it off the pedestal. It's much easier for you now to be natural about it, to see it as something normal for you. When you put something on a pedestal, when you put someone especially on a pedestal, you think they are out of your reach, literally and figuratively. When you take them off your pedestal and put them as something normal, side by side, it becomes natural. They are your equals. They're not someone who is towering above you. And the second reason, I lost myself, but now I remember. The second reason is once you get it, because you have let go of the intensity and the glamour around it, you can actually appreciate it more and for longer, because you will not take it for granted, because there would be actual contentment before you get it and after you get it. And it will come more natural to you. And when it comes to you, you'll be like, oh, that's cool. Literally, like, that's cool. It will not be a relief. It will be like, that's cool. Because you have been so natural about it. You have let go of the desire and the intensity behind it. And because you have removed it from the pedestal, you have fabricated, it becomes so natural in the flow of things, in the flow of the good things happening in your life. It will be another good thing happening to your life, and you will be contented and grateful for it, appreciative of it. So those are two great reasons for you to let go. And as you can see, I'm not being negative about the glamour at all. I'm just saying, I'm not being negative about the desires. There's nothing wrong with the desire. I'm just saying, don't put anything on a pedestal. Don't think that your desires are so hard to reach that you have to put them so much above you. And just by making it no more normal, making it something you can reach easily, something you can have easily, something that is normal and natural for you to have in your life right now, at least in your imagination. If you get it in the real life, I mean, the imagination is also the real life, to be fair, even more real, to be honest. But what I'm talking when I say real life is the life you and other people can see concretely. It's tangible. So once you have let go of this glamour, let go of this desire and this expectation for it, and you live in the having of it, you live in a universe that is compliant, a universe that is friendly, that is loving. As a great parent always wants a kid to have the best life, you can see the universe as such. So don't put anything on a pedestal. No matter what you dream, and however big your dreams are, make them normal. Destroy this pedestal. See yourself lovingly as already having it. Picture yourself lovingly as already having it. Be content that you already have it in your imagination. And when it happens in real life, it will be amazing.